SIBN Sports.
What's up, y'all? This is your girl, Clara Salette, coming at you from the SIBN Sports Desk. Hey, listen, y'all, we've had to make a few changes the last few weeks. As you know, it is the holiday. So usually when you have a holiday, you have a change in the way you do things, and you have to set up your desk a little bit differently. So Matthew is not actually in the studio with me this week, but we will be getting back together in the following and coming weeks. After the holidays and we get past everything, we'll get back to our normal setup. But for now, we just want to keep bringing you that good sports, good news, and just keep on having a good time. And we appreciate your support. I always like to tell my supporters how much we appreciate you guys for following, for listening to us, and for all of your comments. We thank you so very much. Now, what a great exciting week in football. We had so many really exciting games that I want to talk about. We're going to be talking about the Pro Bowl picks. Man, I'm telling you, the Pro Bowl is just going to be ridiculous. Can you say ridiculous? You know, we've been talking a lot in the past weeks about the Atlanta Falcons, and there have been things said as far as, you know, can the Falcons last? Can they make this? Is this really the year for the Falcons? I'll have to tell you guys that this past week, watching the Falcons play said a lot to me about the Falcons. We always say either you're going to win in the first quarter or you're going to lose in the fourth quarter. And I promise you, the Atlanta Falcons came to win. They showed up at the Dome. They wanted home field advantage. They were not going to lose this game. The first quarter, 7-3, Atlanta. The second quarter, 14-3, Atlanta. Just going down ridiculously. Nice pass from Matt Ryan to Rowdy White, 44 yards for a touchdown. Man, I'm telling you, I was just like overjoyed with the way they were playing. They looked good. Matt Ryan just was spot on with his play. Another pass in the second quarter from Matt Ryan to Rowdy White, 39-yard pass for a touchdown. Then again in the second quarter, you had a 16-yard pass from Matt Ryan to Julio Jones. Everybody stepped up to the table, played their game the way they know to play it. And I tell you, it was just something to see on both ends of that field, watching the Falcons play. You know, just looking good. You know, they beat Detroit 31-18. So I think what I'm trying to say here is, and I think a lot of you probably agree with me at this point, that the Falcons just had a wonderful game. They said a lot about their play, and I think it showed that the Falcons are a team to reckon with at this point. I tell you, they look great. Matt Ryan, 78% completion, 279 passing yards. He threw 4 touchdowns. I'm telling you, when you see them play that well, you can't do anything but get excited. I'm telling you, just really exciting. Rowdy White, 8 receptions for 153 yards. He had 2 touchdowns on the day. Good job, Rowdy White. You had Jones. He had 7 receptions for 71 yards. 1 touchdown for him as well. I mean, when you look across the board at the way the team came together, Atlanta Falcons 13-2, leaders and winners of the NFC, and they are have the home field advantage. I mean, it's just awesome to see. I'm so excited for them. Now, another game we were watching this week also was the Patriots, and the Patriots won big over the Jaguars, 23-16. Also, the Vikings had a win on this past week. The Vikings won over the Houston Texans, 23-6. Now, this was a big game for the Cowboys and the Saints. The Cowboys were not able to pull off a win in overtime. After watching that game and watching how well Dez Bryant has just stepped up to the plate in the last few weeks. He has been playing some awesome ball. He had 224 catching yards, and he scored 2 touchdowns in a losing cause for the Cowboys. They received the toss in the second quarter. In the overtime, had an opportunity to score, did not score. Saints came down, had a fumble, picked up their own fumble after it rolled down the field 3 yards, about 30 yards or so, to get to the Dallas Cowboys 2 yard to kick the field goal and won the game. So that was just tough luck for the Cowboys. Just a bad play at the wrong time for them to lose that game. But the Cowboys did play well, and they are giving themselves an opportunity to play in to be in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens with them this week. We'll talk about those games that are coming up also as well. And then you have the Green Bay Packers that just dominated the Titans. Just like, they just showed up to play. Wasn't nobody playing. 55-7. OMG. I say it again. 55-7. You did not hear me wrong. That was the Green Bay Packers winning real big over the Tennessee Titans. Let's talk about how they score, because I like to break down the quarters. Green Bay in the first quarter, 14 points. Tennessee 0. That lets you know where you're going with this game, right? Second quarter, 6-0. Green Bay. Again in the third quarter, 14-0. To Green Bay. And then Titans finally scored in the fourth quarter. 21-7 was the ratio there. Aaron Rodgers just played great ball. I tell you, these quarterbacks are looking so good right now. And I think, when you look at the quarterbacks of these teams, it's really going to determine who's going to be in the playoffs and who's going to win big in the playoffs. And you can't help but see that the opportunity is there for them. Aaron Rodgers had 71% completion. He had 342 passing yards, and he had 3 touchdowns. Come on, guys. When you look at those stats and those numbers, it lets you know what's going on in football right now, and I'm telling you, they're out here to win. You had the Redskins to win big over the Eagles, 27-20. That was a big win for the Redskins. They needed that win, and they did get that win. Then you had the Denver Broncos. Peyton Manning is just ridiculous right now. They won big over the Browns, which we expected them to beat the Browns, but to see them win is always good. Watching Peyton Manning is just ridiculous anyway right now, because he's playing so well. But they won 34-12. Breakdown of the quarters: you had Denver 7, Cleveland 3 in the first quarter. Second quarter, Denver 7, Cleveland 0. Then in the third quarter, you had Denver 7, you had Cleveland 3, and then in the fourth quarter, you had Denver 13 and Cleveland 6 points. So, as you break it down, you get a chance to see what's going on, what the domination is, and Peyton Manning don't let up. He don't care who you are. He's not going to back down. He's going to keep playing you hard and play strong. And Peyton Manning had a great game. He had 69.8 completion, 339 passing yards. He had 3 touchdowns. He threw 1 interception, but to no avail. It didn't really matter. But he did get 339 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Great job, Peyton Manning. I'm watching Peyton Manning, guys. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm watching him. He is definitely in line for MVP along with Adrian Peterson. Man, just watching him is just amazing. Then you have the Giants that had a big loss too of the Ravens. Actually, the Ravens beat the Giants 33-14. We'll talk about the Giants coming up this week to see what's going to happen with them, because the Giants do need to make some things happen. So great week in football, great things going on, and as we prepare for the playoffs, and the teams that are really fighting hard, again, to get into the playoffs, like I said, Dallas really needed that win. They did not get that win. That put them at 8-7, tied in the NFC East with New York, who's also 8-7. They needed a big win, and they did not get it. And Washington is now 9-6. Let me tell you something. RG3 he's on a mission. He is taking his team. He is pushing his team, and I'm telling you, it's just great to watch. We're going to come back. We're going to talk some more about the teams that are fighting hard for the playoffs. Some of the games that are coming up for next week that we need to be watching out for, and then we're going to do a quick breakdown of the Pro Bowl and who's going to the Pro Bowl. I'm so excited about those that are going to be in the Pro Bowl. Is really exciting. We'll come right back in a minute, y'all. Don't touch that mouse, okay?
It's always been a part of me to fight for those who couldn't fight for themselves. Whether on my block or around the world. My name is First Lieutenant King, and I move toward the sounds of those who are in need of help.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
Entry invalid.
The Windows Phone 8X by HTC on Verizon. It features easy-to-navigate live tiles that are simple to customize. Just pin what matters most right to your home screen. Exclusively with DataSense, a feature that makes the most of your plan. Only on Verizon.
Hey, Mike. Where'd you get to?
Just diagramming this accident with my State Farm Pocket Agent app. You can also get a quote and pay your premium with this thing.
I thought State Farm didn't have all those apps.
Where'd you hear that?
The internet.
And you believed it?
Yeah. They can't put anything on the internet that isn't true.
Where'd you hear that? The internet.
Oh, look. Here comes my date. I met him on the internet. He's a French model.
Bonjour.
State Farm, more mobile than ever. Get to a better state.
Aaron, I was able to save you hundreds.
Yeah, discount, double check, I know. I'm kind of over that move.
So are we.
What?
It's a little, soft.
No, it isn't.
It is.
They wanted something with a little,
Like what?
Do it with me. Ready? Discount, double check.
I like it. It's terrifying.
Right?
Matthews.
What's up, dude?
He plays football professionally.
Hey, Rogers! Move! Matthews! You can save big with a discount double check, only from State Farm.
You're listening to SIBN Radio on the Salute USA TV iBroadcasting Network. You're listening to SIBN Radio.
All right, y'all, this is your girl, Clara Salette, back at you from the SIBN Sports Desk. And listen, we were going in now. I was talking about some of the teams that are trying to get in this playoff. I'll tell you something. I was telling you about the Giants, and I said that we were going to discuss what's coming up. The reason I said that is because Michael Vick is returning this week as quarterback for Philadelphia. Now, everybody's probably saying, he hadn't played in weeks, no big deal, I'm going to tell you something. They're saying that this could be the last game for Coach Andy Reid in Philadelphia. If that is the case, then the Philadelphia Eagles have something to prove. They're going to want to come out and win this game. Michael Vick coming back on the field, having not played, and being put in second, actually, to Cousins, is going to be looking and saying, I need to win this game. Not that I have any chance of getting into the playoffs, but it will look good on the resume if I can beat the Giants and knock them out of the playoffs. I'm going to tell you something. Eli Manning does not need to be off his game this week against Philadelphia. Now, listen, guys. I know y'all probably saying, what? Girl, please. They ain't got nothing to worry about. I'm telling y'all, I think they do. This is going to be a week to watch to see what happens. Everybody's saying that the Giants are going to beat the Eagles. But I'm going to say this. I'm going out on a limb. This is going to be a tough one for the Giants to win. If Eli Manning comes in any way and slips and does not play up to the game that he is capable of, I promise you the Philadelphia Eagles will beat the New York Giants, and they will not have an opportunity to get into playoffs. That will be an upset of the week, but I'm telling you, it's one to watch. Hey, I want to get into it. I want to talk about it. I want to hear from you. Tell me what you think. Go to our SIBN Sportscast fan page on Facebook, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about what's going to happen when Michael Vick returns to Philadelphia Eagles as the quarterback against New York Giants. I know you're all going to be watching. I'm going to be watching. Let's see what happens. I'm excited. I can't wait. It's going to be exciting. Seriously. Another really big game that has to do with the playoffs. We were talking about Dallas, and we were talking about the Washington Redskins. Washington Redskins is ahead of the NFC East, the National Football Conference, which is the NFC East, and they are right now 9-6. The Dallas Cowboys, after losing on last week, are now 8-7. Like I said, that was a big game for Dallas. It would have been great if they could have beat the Saints. That would have put them in a tie for with them, but unfortunately they did not win. So they definitely need to win this game against Washington, and it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. I'll tell you, RG3 is on the move, but let me tell you, Dez Bryant with his great play has stepped up, and Dallas just looks like, and I have to say this because y'all know I'm a Dallas fan. You know I love Dallas. I'm sorry. I love the Falcons too, but I'm going to tell you something. I really like the Dallas Cowboys. Always have liked the Dallas Cowboys. They are a team, and they look like the Dallas Cowboys of old. They played so well on Sunday. Even though they did not win that game, they did play very well. I tell you, it's going to be a great game. Dallas, Washington Redskins. Cannot wait to watch that game and see if Dallas is able to beat the Redskins to get into the playoffs. They need that win. And if the Giants lose, that would help them also. We'll see what happens. Boy, you talking about some good games coming up. I mean, people are going to have to step to the plate. They're going to have to play hardball and make things happen if they want to get into the playoffs. So, we'll be looking for those games this week and finding out, who's gonna win big, who's going to play hard, and who wants it really bad. Some other games that are coming up this week, you got Baltimore at Cincinnati. They're looking at that being a great game as well. The Ravens going up against the Bengals. You got Cleveland playing at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is expected to take that game without any problems. You have the Houston playing at Indianapolis. Now that will be another game to watch. The Houston Texans have been in and out right now. They haven't been playing as well as they were playing in the first 10 weeks. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when Houston comes up against Indianapolis Colts. They're looking at the Colts to beat Houston. We'll see what happens. Jacksonville is going to be at Tennessee. They're looking at the Titans on that one. Again, Philadelphia, New York. You got Chicago playing at Detroit. Chicago should not have any problems with a win there. Tampa Bay is coming to Atlanta, to the Dome. The only way to the Super Bowl is through Atlanta, Georgia, through the Dome, the Georgia Dome. Yes, it is the place to be. So Tampa Bay will be coming through, and we expect the Falcons to definitely get a win there. Another great game coming up this week is going to be Carolina at New Orleans at the Superdome. Carolina coming here, Cam Newton to play against Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. That's going to be a good game. I want to see what happens and how well Carolina can play against Brees. They came and they were able to beat Atlanta, so we want to see what's going to happen when they play the Saints. So, hey, we'll be looking out. They're saying the Saints are going to win, but hey, you just never know with that one, because Cam Newton, when he comes and he's on his game, he can make things happen. He can shake things up for the New Orleans Saints. We'll be watching that one. Miami is going to be playing at New England. You got Green Bay playing in Minnesota. I'm telling you, that's another one that's going to be a really, really great game to watch. Green Bay at Minnesota. Kansas City is going to be playing at Denver. Denver Broncos should not have any problems winning that game against Kansas City. Another win for Peyton Manning. You got Oakland at San Diego. Arizona is going to be playing against San Francisco 49ers. It'll be great to see what happens in that game. Arizona hasn't been playing well. Picked up a couple of games, but Again, not playing well at all. St. Louis is in Seattle. And then you got the big game of the week. That's going to be Dallas at Washington. They are playing at Washington. So, again, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the NFC East with Dallas and Washington Redskins. Man, I'm telling you, just so excited about the coming weeks and what's going to happen. Now, listen, I told you that I was excited about the Pro Bowl. And the reason I'm most excited is that we had 3 picks from Atlanta to play in the Pro Bowl for the NFC. And pretty interesting. Yeah, exciting. You got Matt Ryan, backup quarterback. You have Tony Gonzalez. This is his 13th Pro Bowl. Go Tony Gonzalez, going to be the tight end for the NFC. He is a starter as well. That's going to be really great. And then you have Jones, who's also going to be on the reserve as a wide receiver for the NFC. So I'm really excited for the 3 Falcons have been chosen to play in the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl is going to be played in Honolulu, Hawaii, at the Honolulu Aloha Stadium. That's going to be on January 27th. Now let's talk about the quarterbacks for this game. You got the AFC Denver, yes, at the top of the leaderboard, none other than Mr. Peyton Manning. This is his 12th selection. We all know that he set out the whole 2011 season for injuries and surgeries for his neck and things that were going on in his neck and pains and things, and he had to have surgery. And so the Colts, as a result, let him go. But he has now signed with the Denver Broncos and has taken that team just to top of his league. I mean, just playing so well. 4,355 passing yards so far for the season. He has thrown 34 touchdowns. He did have 11 interceptions, but 4,355 yards, 34 touchdowns. I think that's okay. He has taken his team on a 10-game streak. I mean, did you hear what I said? A 10-game streak. Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos have won 10 games straight, and that has put them at 12-3 coming into the next week. So good job, kudos to Peyton Manning. In the NFC, you have Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers. He was the MVP for 2011. He threw 3,930. Sorry, I was trying to say 3,930, but I'm going to say 3,930 because I want you to know what I'm talking about. Yards. He did 35 touchdowns. He had just 8 interceptions for the season so far. These guys are looking great. You see why I'm saying what I'm saying, guys, about what teams to look out for. These quarterbacks, if they continue to play the way they're playing, these quarterbacks are going to determine. I don't care what anybody says. I know there's Adrian Peterson. You got Tony Gonzalez. You have all these all-star players. But without these great quarterbacks, these teams wouldn't be able to do what they do. So it's going to be great to see what happens. We're going to continue to talk about the Pro Bowl. Got some more exciting news about those that have been picked to play in this game. It's going to be a great game, great and exciting. Y'all, hold on to your seats. This is getting very exciting. We'll get back with you in a few seconds. Thank you, and hold that mouse.
Listening to SIBN Radio. We'll be right back in a moment. Now is the time to have your business online with the Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network. That's right, SIBN or Select USA TV will produce your video on the spot. Picture business videos or location streaming videos or location production videos. Dial 678-830-3118 or call the office at 404-910-5019 Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now is the time to have your business online with SIBN. USA TV iBroadcasting Network now offers picture videos, on-location streaming videos, and on-location production videos for your event cause, brand, or mission. Call today, 678-830-3118 or 404-910-5019.
Right. But Talking Gecko, why?
I'll tell you why. Because people trust advertising icons. Some bloke tells you to go to geico.com and you're like, really? Just do like you be. But a gecko, he can be trusted. I ask if you want to save hundreds on car insurance, and you're like, yes, thank you. Mind babysitting my kids? And I'm like, of course I'll sit with the kids. You're like a brother to me.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It's 2:30 in the morning, and your mom just woke me up because she had her very first craving, and so we came to Burger King so she could get a Whopper.
So good.
Look at
Burger King is celebrating 55 years of Whopper sandwich and inviting you to share your best Whopper moments.
Thanks for waking me up.
Thanks for buying me a Burger King.
I was once used for small jobs.
And I took on all the bigger, tougher ones, but with Mr. Clean's new Select-A-Size Magic Eraser, he can take on any size job.
At least we don't go near Rex's mobile home as often.
What are you, scared?
New Mr. Clean Select-A-Size Magic Eraser.
The call to serve. It has no sound, yet I have heard it in the whispered retelling of honorable sacrifices made by those who have served before me. The call to serve has no form, yet I have clearly seen it in the eyes of men and women infinitely more courageous and more driven than most. The call to serve has no weight, yet I have held it in my hands. I will commit to carry it close to my heart until my country is safe and the anguish of those less fortunate has been soothed. The call to serve is at once invisible and always present. And for those who choose to answer the call, for their country, for their fellow man, for themselves, it is the most powerful force on earth. America's Navy, a global force for good.
You're listening to SIBN Radio on the Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network. You're listening to SIBN Radio.
All right, y'all, this is your girl, Clara Salette. I am back at the desk with you with your latest news and updates. And we were talking about the Pro Bowl. Now, I was all excited because I was talking to you about the quarterback, the starting quarterbacks, which is for the AFC, you have Denver's Peyton Manning, which is no surprise at all. No surprise at all. And then for the NFC, you have Green Bay's quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. Now, let's talk about the ones that are going to be calling the signal calls and everything for the AFC, Matt Schaub and Tom Brady. I mean, guys, listen, all I'm saying is when you look at the fact that the quarterback, the names are so great, and then for the NFC, who you got? Matt Ryan and RG3. I had to take a pause on that one, y'all. The quarterbacks right now are just ridiculous. And so when you look at that, you know, the NFC and the AFC, that's going to be a great Pro Bowl this year. I'm serious. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch. We always say it's just exciting, but you know, to see who comes out on top, you know, we want to know. You know, you want your conference to win. So I mean, when you look at these names that are in here, for example, let's go on over to the NFC and talk about the wide receivers. You got Detroit's Calvin Johnson, who just broke Jerry Rice's record of the most receiving yards in a season with 1,982 receiving yards. Calvin Johnson, in losing calls, was able to do that, had a great game, still was able to do what he did in catches and receiving. Man, great hats off to him. He is going to be the starting wide receiver for the NFC. You got Chicago's Brandon Marshall. Then the backups are going to be Atlanta's Antonio Jones and Giants' Victor Cruz. I mean, come on, backups, Julio Jones and Victor Cruz. What did that tell you? And then in the AFC, you got the Bengals' A.J. Green to start alongside Houston's Andre Johnson. The backups are going to be Indianapolis' Reggie Wayne and New England's Wes Welker. I'm sorry, I said his name wrong. Wes Welker. So, just again, here we go to the tight ends, right? For the NFC, you got Tony Gonzalez as starter. This is his 13th year. Guess who his backup is? None other than from Dallas, Jason Witten. Come on, guys. The names, the likes. I mean, when you say these names, it's just ridiculous. Then you got the AFC, the New England's Rob Gronkowski is his name, girl. The backup for him is going to be Pittsburgh's Heath Miller. So when you start calling out the names of the ones that are going to play in the Pro Bowl, that just lets you know the greatness and the depth of football right now. It's just amazing. In the AFC, for running back, you have Houston's Arian Foster. You have Kansas City's Jamal Charles and Baltimore's Ray Rice also in the backfield. For the NFC, you got none other than big guy Adrian Peterson coming back from a torn ACL on last season to do what he has done so far this season. He is chasing Eric Dickerson's single season rushing record of 2,105 yards. He is now 207 yards shy of that. So we're going to be watching Adrian Peterson to see if he's going to have an opportunity to break that record. I bet you, if you guys are like me, you like to see people come out on top. You got to be rooting for him to have an opportunity to break that record. He's had such a great season coming off that injury and being able to come back as he has and do. You know what? You know, when I watch Adrian Peterson, what it says to me is down, but I'm not down, but not out. I mean, you can get back up again. When you fall down, when you get hurt, when you get injured, when something happens to you, get back up and keep running. And that boy is running his way into the record books. Go ahead, Adrian Peterson. I'm sorry, y'all. I got a little bit excited on that one. It's just, I get excited to see people doing so great and getting back up from injuries and different things. The same way with Peyton Manning. Same thing happened with him. And then you got Green Bay's, also in the backfield, Green Bay's, I'm sorry, who was I getting ready to say? In the backfield, I'm sorry, Seattle's Marshawn Lynch, and then you got 49ers Frank Gore. They're going to be in the backfield as well in the NFC. So kudos to all of those who have been chosen to play in the Pro Bowl. It's going to be pretty exciting and fun. You know, we always like to, get your wine, get your beer, whatever you like to drink. Get your stuff. Do your thing. Go on and have yourself a good time and relax and watch the game. In the defense let's see here. I believe, this is for the AFC. Some of the defense names, you got J.J. Watt from Houston that's going to be playing. You got Cameron Wade from Miami. You got Elvis from Denver. So some great names to hear. J.J. Watts, especially from Houston, been playing very well this year. So that's going to be great to see him in the Pro Bowl as well. Let's see here. Just trying to call out a few names. And then we're going to move on from that. But, yeah, we talked about the offense and all the different guys that are playing. So that's going to be really great. Now, we're going to make a switch real quick. We've talked about a lot of football this week. But, basketball is in full effect right now. Had a chance to watch some great games this past week. Was just blown away at the play level of some of the guys out there. Now listen, the Lakers played and won against New York, but I promise you it was not an easy win for the Lakers because let me tell you something. New York is playing at the top of their game right now. And they're looking really good, but they did not win. The Lakers and Kobe Bryant were able to come out on top. And I watched that game. It really was a great game. Carmelo Anthony played. The boy is just ridiculous, the way he shoots from the outside, the way he takes the ball to the hoop. He plays so hard and so strong. He is a great leader on his team. Sometimes when I'm watching these great players, we always go back to Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan is the greatest example of not only a person that can score and play the game, but Michael Jordan is a great example to someone that can lead his team to greatness and push the greatness out of those that play with him, as we saw him do with Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman and some of the others that played with him and alongside him. And so watched Carmelo Anthony, was just really impressed with his play and with his leadership. Another great game, man. Let me tell you something. The Heat beat up on the Thunder just a little bit, 103 to 97, and you knew in the first half of this game that this was going to be a hard game for the Thunder to win. But that KD, they call him KD, that Kevin Durant goes in harder than he just goes in so hard in the paint. He went up on one slam. I was just like, KD, you rocking the board. The boy was ridiculous. He is strong. No wonder Oklahoma continues to win the way they have. KD is just an asset to that team. He's playing great ball. Oklahoma is actually now 21-6. They're doing... everybody thought that without Harden, they were just not going to be as great this year, but I think that they've proven with Westbrook and some of the other guys that are playing on that team that they didn't need Harden to win, and I think they've proven that. They're playing really well. So Oklahoma is 21-6 at this point. You got San Antonio still up 21-8. You got, let's see here, Miami is 20-6. Miami is playing better than ever. D-Wade stepped up. LeBron playing, when one is down, the other's up. And that's what I love about the game of basketball. When you got a great team, Bosh stepped up his game. When you got a great team and everybody's coming out, Miller came in and hit a couple of threes, and everybody's coming in and doing their thing and doing what they know to do. Ray Allen. When you got a team, man, I'm telling y'all, the Heat is still the team to beat right now. I don't care what nobody says. It's just ridiculous how well they played that game. And D-Wade got hurt a little bit. It was a little scare when he twisted his knee a little bit, but he was able to get back up, get himself together, and get back in the game and play some more. Great game for the Heat over the Thunder. But, man, that lets you know, when you're looking at those teams, that just lets you know what you got to come up against and what's going to be going on in the weeks to come in the NBA. So I'm excited about what's going on in the NBA. I'm excited about, I was also looking at the Rockets beat the Bulls 120-97. And then the Atlanta Hawks are still playing really well as well. Also, some more wins this week. Miami also played Charlotte and beat Charlotte Hornets 105-92 as well. And let's see, are there any other games on here? And then, you just got a lot of... Basketball is just ongoing because there's so many games to be played. Kobe Bryant is still playing really well, and he has 836 points on the year, 29.9 average per game. Carmelo Anthony is 28.5 per game. And then you got Durant at 28.1. Harden is still playing well for Houston, which, this for Harden, again, I said it was a good move for him to go to Houston because it gives him that chance to play as a starter and to be big man on the team. And he is 25.7 average for the season. He's above James LeBron, who's at 25.5. And then you got Westbrook out of OKC, 21.4. These guys, when you look at the top scores, you look at the top teams. It is what it is, man. I'm telling you, that's just the way it falls. And you can tell that by the play. You can tell that by the scores. And so I'm really excited about this week in basketball, this week in football. Again, we're going to be looking to see how the Falcons finish up. Don't expect them to have any problems winning this week against Tampa Bay. They're playing at home. Every team coming through the dome for the playoffs. And if you want to win, they're going to be watching, though, to see what happens. Another game, like I said, we're going to be watching this week also. We're going to be keeping a close eye on is going to be that Philadelphia Eagle against the Giants game, because again, Vic is returning. So we're going to see what happens in the game. I am going to be watching. I know that you're going to be watching too. You guys, we appreciate all of your support. You guys come out, you listen to the show, you like our pages, you put your notes and comments and everything. We want you to know how much we appreciate you. Again, this is your girl, Clara Salette. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I keep saying watching, y'all, because you know we also have television. SIBN Sports is a part of Select USA TV and radio. So we don't just do radio. We also do TV. We actually started as a CTL show, which is Culture Approach to Life. And that was a live show that we used to do that you could actually watch us. So sometimes I slip and say watch, and y'all probably like, why she keep saying watch? We can't watch. But one of these days, you never know. We may set it up where you guys can do the live calls as well, so that we can take questions from you, take comments from you, find out what you think, what your concerns are, what you're excited about, what teams you like, what things that you're watching as far as football, as far as basketball. I really want to get into some conversations with you guys, and we're hoping in the near future, especially coming up in the 2013 year, to be able to have more interaction with our listeners, those that follow us, those that support us. We want to be able to have more contact with you. So we're hoping to set that up in the coming year. We want you to continue to remember us. Keep us in your prayers as we go into 2013. I also want you to do the same. I want to close out with some great stuff for you. If you just give me a few seconds, we'll take a quick break and I'll be right back with you. This is your girl, Clara Salette on SIBN Sports.
Powered by American Family Insurance. Trey Matthews, one of the top safeties in his class, defined his playing style early on.
I started playing football when I was around 9.
They were doing head-on tackling drills. He was getting ready to hit a guy, and it was like, no, we're not going to let him go against him because he played last year. I was like, no, let him hit it.
Trey didn't know, well, what am I supposed to do? He's much bigger than I am. My husband said, just go at him and go full speed. And he just did it like he had been doing it since he was, younger than 8 or 9.
He never missed a practice, been late for one. He was a dedicated football player 12 months out of the year.
Trey's family is very close, and it's helped keep Trey on the path to his dreams.
The closest of our family is phenomenal.
When I step out of line, my mom is the first one on me.
I know I push him a whole lot more than what some of the other boys' parents do, but that, of course, will help him in the end.
Trey's dream is to be a professional football player. We work out together almost every night.
My dad taught me my work ethic. He taught me everything I know.
People talk about a plan B. We don't have a plan B. You put all that you have into your plan A. And if your plan A fails, then we'll work on another plan A.
The NFL is a big dream, and Trey has a plan and the support to protect it.
The best way to protect my dream is to stay focused, keep my body healthy, and hit the books hard.
When Trey starts talking about what he wants to pursue, I just get behind him 100%. We have a motto that we live by. Let's put God first, go hard, and have fun. That's in life, in the classroom, and everything that you do.
You do a lot of thinking on a bike about your life, family, your dreams. One of my dreams came to me on a bike, to open up my own shop. So what happens when you complete a dream? Well, you just start thinking of the next.
You're listening to SIBN Radio on the Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network. You're listening to SIBN Radio.
All right, y'all. Again, this is your girl, Clara Salette, coming back at you. As I was talking before we took the commercial break, one of the things I was thinking about was the fact that when I come back to you again, guys, we're actually going to be in 2013. So we're going to be in the new year. I hope, first of all, that you had a Merry Christmas, that you had a wonderful time with family, because as we know, family is so very, very important. But as I am preparing to come in a new year, one of the things that I've been thinking about as I'm looking at the development of SIBN television and also Select USA TV, Collabo Media TV, those are all combinations of what we do. We have TV and radio now. And so as I look at where we are headed and where we have come from, there's some things that I want to say to you as I appreciate your support and thank you for all that you do. I want to say this because we don't take it lightly and we don't take it for granted. You can find us at www.sibntelevision.com. Also on Twitter at Select USA TV, at Collabo Media TV. Now, the reason I'm giving you those things is because I want you to go and follow us. Go check out our webpage because on that page, it will show you so much about us, where we have come from and where we are headed. I want to say this to you as you're heading to the new year, as you see the things that we are doing, and you say, you know, I like what they are doing, and I want to do some similar things, or I have some things that I want to do, and I'd like to be encouraged in that. Well, my husband, Marcus Salette, is a life coach, and what he does is he encourages and teaches people how. He has a show that he does every morning. It's called Morning Bread, and if you go, Coach approach to Coach's Corner. I'm so sorry, y'all. We used to do Morning Bread. I didn't slip way back because we done done so much and we've evolved and changed so much. I had to ask the producer which show it was. But it's the Coach's Corner. And the Coach's Corner, every morning, he gets up, he gets into the words of encouragement to talk to you about your future, talk to you about your present, where you're headed, your visions, and those things that weigh us down and those things that are causing problems, and give you a chance to come out of those things and allow yourself to be able to move outside of yourself to do something greater. And you do have a vision, you do have a plan for your life, you just don't know what to do. We are here for you. That's what Select USA TV is all about. That's what SIBN television and radio is all about. We want to give you a word that you can live. Now, one of the things that I want to leave, again, I said I don't want to take this for granted. I want to leave you with this word. Don't let anyone or anything keep you from your vision in 2013 or from your dreams. And the reason I say that is you are still on the track. You just had to take a detour. Yes, I said it. You are still on the track. You just had to take a detour. Sometime when the train is going down the track and it's going too fast, or maybe another train jumped the track and we need to get you off the track to prevent a head-on collision. Sometimes the detour is necessary. Don't take that as a weakness or don't take that as defeat. That is not a defeat. It is victory. So, guys, we want you to know here on SIBN Sports that we appreciate all of your support. Again, you can find our webpage at www.sibntelevision.com. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at Select USA TV, at Collabo Media TV. We look forward to seeing you. And again, SIBN Sportscast fan page on Facebook. Like our page, put your comments, tell us what you think, give us well wishes for the new year. We will do the same to you. This is your girl, Clara Salette, coming at you live from the studio, SIBN Sports Studio Radio TV. Thank you for your support. You guys, we'll see you, and you will hear us again in 2013. Have a wonderful, wonderful time. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome to the Sports Desk. Keeping on top of your teams in news, stats, and wins. This is SIBN Sports.
You're listening to SIBN Radio on the Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network. You're listening to SIBN Radio.
Once again, I'm Matthew Bugs, and this is SIBN Sports.
You're listening to SIBN Radio on the Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network.